I'm Scott, welcome to Not Mark II Golf Stories. I'm here to talk to James about his 2003 Mini Cooper S R53. So let's have a look around the car, let's talk to James, find out what his plans are, what the history of the car is, and get to know it and him a bit better. Let's do it. So I mentioned we're here with James and his beautiful Mini Cooper S. This is the R53, with the R50 being the baseline variant. So the R53 is the top of the line, which includes the Cooper S and the Cooper Works.
Right? The John Cooper Works, is the R53, yeah. The R52 is actually convertible.
Really? Didn't know about, learning lots of things here. James, you bought this Mini in 2022 and it's your first project car.
It is, yeah.
How are you finding having a project car?
Enjoyable. It's something new for me. I've always wanted to have a project car, but with work commitments, life commitments, family, you just never get around to it. Kids are getting a little bit older now, still fairly young, but I'm finding I've got a little bit more free time. So the opportunity came up to buy this, and I was like, I've always wanted one.
Yeah, well,
let's have it.
What do you like about the minis and the Mini Cooper S's? What's drawn?
Well, again, I've always wanted one when they were new. Like when they first came out, I always wanted. It's that supercharger whine. I just love it. And a guy at work had one back in would have been 2005-ish. So he would have had it brand new. So he had a grey one with a black roof, and I always liked that colour. Yeah, and again with just life, it just never got round to me getting one when they were new. Yeah, and the opportunity came up, so I thought, why not?
A bit more exciting as well about getting a car when it's a bit older, when it's not new.
Yeah.
And a bit of personality to it.
Yeah. To be fair, my car history has always been new cars, so this is a first for me, having an older car.
Yeah. Can you tell us some of the history of this car?
Car registered in the Lake District 2003. It's had 4 owners, I think. I think I'm the 5th owner. Yeah, so it was owned by quite a few people, kind of, but they had it for a long period of time, as it were. So yeah, so I came about it through my wife's uncle. He unfortunately passed away. He had always had minis and basically had this one sat on the driveway. And he was passionate about minis. He'd had loads of minis in the past. So I got this from my wife's uncle. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he was really passionate about minis. He'd had this car for a long time. I think he'd had it probably, I'm sure he'd had it 6 or 7 years off the logbook. I can't remember. But yeah, he'd always looked after it, always serviced it. It was nice to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
And for me to enhance it, because it did need a bit of recommissioning to get it back on the road.
Okay. It's nice, like I say, for it to have that family history.
Yeah.
And I suppose by you taking ownership of it, you're sort of keeping his memory alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And his desires and his dreams alive in this car.
Yeah.
So you said you've done a bit of work on it to get it back to this state. What have you done on it? What have you done yourself?
Yeah.
What plans have you got for it going forward?
Yeah. So when I got the Mini, I'd read up on it. I'd read up all the things that were likely to go wrong with it. So I know it hadn't had a supercharger service. The top mounts needed to be done. They were definitely going. I think we saved them because what they do, they mushroom the metal struts within the engine bay. So basically, I had a supercharger service, new water pump, full service. We changed. It was, should we say, pissing out oil. So we've had most of the oil seals changed. The only one we've got left to do now is the rear main seal, but it's a gearbox out job. So.
Oh, okay. Have you done much on this yourself?
Only cosmetic stuff. I'm a proper novice when it comes to.
We've all got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And to be fair, I found a mini specialist, and he just lives and breathes these minis. So I found him, and he knew exactly what to do, what to look for, where the pitfalls were, and he kind of recommissioned this for me, got it back on the road, and really happy with it.
So you want to keep it stock, you mentioned to me in the past.
Yeah, so I want to keep it as OEM as possible. So I've had the wheels refurbed, I've had new tyres done. The bonnet was absolutely peppered with stone chips, so I've had that resprayed. The back bumper had to be resprayed, and I've also changed the boot lid because it's a common thing where the rust just above where the number plate is.
Okay.
So I managed to find one on eBay, luckily. So I went and grabbed that.
Nice.
And that got swapped over for me. So yeah, and it's just had a general recommission and a good clean, really.
What's your favourite thing about this car?
Gotta be honest, it's the supercharger and the British Racing Green. I absolutely love it. I think it's just the perfect colour for this car. I think it just sets it out. You don't see many of them, and as it gets older, I think it looks more fitting with the car. And I think it's definitely, it's 21 years old now, and I think it's only gonna get better with age. And I think this colour really suits it.
I think that the white and the green.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's time we take it for a spin, James.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Let's hop in and we'll go for a spin. Ooh. Nice. It's got some pickle, mate.
Not bad, is it?
This drives pretty nice, James, I'm not gonna lie. What feels nice to the passenger? What's it like to drive it? The fun?
Said that. I know all these little niggles though.
Yeah. What niggles you notice with it?
Well, I know the paintwork's not right. I know that needs doing.
Any niggles while you're driving it? Or is it just bodywork?
No, it's just bodywork, to be fair. It's mainly the paintwork, to be honest with you, and the underside. I know needs some work. It's okay at the moment, but it will need some work in the future.
Yeah. Well, that's part of having a project car, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely on the plans to sort out. I want the subframes powder coated and all the.
You're going to wax any of it, or?
Yeah, pretty well. I'm probably not going to do it myself, if I'm honest with you. It's probably a bit above my skill set. But I do know of a mini specialist who's very good at it, and he's got previous history.
Who's the mini specialist you use?
It's GR53 mini, it used to be based in Worsley in Manchester, or Northwich, around that area. He did all the work to it when I bought it.
They did the supercharger as well?
Yeah, so when we got it, the supercharger was gone. It was dry as anything. So I've had a replacement supercharger put on it with a complete supercharger service. So I've had a new water pump, new kind of all the coolant flushed out. So that's all running right now. So I've had a proper service.
Sweet. Oh, nice. So you're going full out on it then?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get not necessarily upgrade the suspension, but get all that, because it's 108,000 miles, 20 odd years old. So that probably needs all updating, get some poly bushes on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just kind of new discs, pads. I want to try and keep it as OEM as possible. So I only paid £400 for it.
Fucking hell.
What else have I done? So I've changed these. So these were originally silver, but I like the brushed aluminium look.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still plastic, but it's brushed aluminium look.
Nice.
But I just think it adds to the car. I think it's,
Yeah, they look cool, man. I think carbon fibre would look good as well.
not OEM though, Scott.
No.
Not
Gotta keep it OEM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of an OEM obsession. The only thing I'm thinking about going away from OEM is the front grille, and maybe putting a Cooper Works grille on, like a matte black one.
Yeah, that's so one today, didn't we?
I think that just finishes it off. And the only other thing I'm considering doing after going there today was maybe putting a bit of an aftermarket exhaust on. But probably
That's
just.
not OEM though, James.
It's not OEM. But chunky exhaust tips out of the back of that.
Yeah.
And what I have had done to it as well, to pass the MOT, when I first got it, the rear trailing arms were rotten, like really rotten.
Really?
So I've had some R56, which is the next generation Mini, rear trailing arm spot on it, and they're alloy.
So they lighter?
Yeah, I don't think it makes much difference. I mean, they're probably heavier than the rusty ones I had on them previously.
Oh, right. Yeah. Full of holes.
Yeah.
Saving weight.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your car history, James? Because this obviously it's not your first car, and you've had some interesting cars in the past.
Yeah, so I mean, say interesting.
Well, you had cars.
They've had cars in the past. So I started off with my first car was when I was 17, 18, a Vauxhall Nova,
Nice.
1.4 flare in white. Yeah, I did chav it up a bit. I put some Nova SRI steel wheels on it, so
Very nice.
they were nice. Yeah. Once I'd done that, I started on my new car. So I ended up getting a 2002 NX Reg, I think it was, Corsa 1.2 SXI.
Ooh.
Yeah. One of the reasons I got that is because at the time they were offering free insurance with it, and at that time I was only early 20s. My insurance was absolutely extortionate, so it kind of made sense to finance the car and get the insurance with it. I think I had a company little yellow Fiesta van for a bit while I was a trainee.
Rodney Trotter.
Yeah. So it was exactly like Rodney Trotter, but with an extra wheel. So then I had a couple of other company cars. I think I had a Clio and a Peugeot. Then I started getting bigger cars, so I really wanted a Golf GT TDI, but my insurance was saying no. So I ended up getting a 53 plate VW Bora. Then moved on to in fact I saw a Golf. It was a brand new car, TSI, on holiday. It was a 1.4 supercharged and turbocharged Golf. I thought, oh, I like the look of that. Nice wheels on. So when I got back off holiday, I went down to my local Volkswagen dealer. Can I have one of the GT TSIs? Yep, ordered that from the factory, exactly the spec I wanted it. So I must have kept that for, I went through a stage of changing my car very, very often and losing a lot of money. So I kept that for a total of 9 months because guy at work had a Focus ST, and I went in that and I thought, I want a bit of this. So I had the Focus ST, and that was one of the best cars I have ever owned.
That was rapid. I remember that car well.
5-cylinder turbocharged, and it sounded absolutely amazing. Nice. Yeah. At the time I was getting free fuel from work, and then they stopped it. World's smallest violin there. And it was thirsty, that car.
So when you got rid of it?
Yeah, it was very thirsty. So I ended up getting, before all Audi drivers were knobheads, I got an Audi A3.
And you created the knobhead?
I did, yes, I did, yeah. And I had a stint of 4 Audis. So I had the A3, I had another A3, but it was a 5-door. Oh no, I've had more than 4 Audis. I then got an A4, and then an A4 Avant, and then my final Audi was an SQ5, which was the V6 petrol turbo rather than the diesel one that's currently out. So that was nice. The V6 was good. And then the electric car revolution. So through my company, I was able to get a company car and benefit from the tax incentive. So I had a Jaguar I-Pace. Now that was a lovely, lovely car. When it worked. So I had that for about 18 months. But in that space of 18 months, it spent more time on the back of a diesel AA van. So the lease company ended up taking it back, and through the company car pull car list, I have got a 2021 Polestar 2 in white. which is
very
nice.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah, I do like that.
Nice. That's pretty extensive car history there. Thanks for sharing your car, sharing your history with us. That's the end of this episode. You're the first proper guest on not Mark II Golf Stories. The other video of Titch's van was stolen from my other channel, Mark II Golf Stories, which is all about Mark II Golfs and that bus. So yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on like, click on subscribe, leave a comment if you've got a Mini, you've got a favourite Mini, do you like this? Do you not like it? Do you hate electric cars? Give us all your comments and feedback below, and we'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks a lot. Thanks, James.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye bye.